Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. We all know that now, don't we? I want to welcome you all here to the, the 11th Annual Mayor's Senior Summit. We're here at the Woodbridge Community Center. We're filming this for all of the seniors that can't get here today. It is a wonderful way to explain to everybody in town all the great services and programs that we have for our seniors. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town. Let me start by introducing some of the people up here at the dais. To my far left is our first ward councilwoman covering Woodbridge and Seawarren, Nancy Drum. To her right is at-large councilman Greg Ficara.
And a senior citizen.
And a senior citizen. And the longest-serving councilman of all 9 people. He's the longest-serving, but not as long as me. I'm the longest-serving elected official now in Woodbridge, now that Rick Delina retired. To my left is Diana Mantegas. She is she always gets the applause. She runs senior transportation. To my far right is Liz Longenhagen from the Sycamore Center, and soon to be, aren't you moving over, right? When it's built, we'll get into that. To her left is the great Michelle Morgan, who runs the Multi-Services Program on Aging. To her left is the head of our Health and Senior Services Department, Dennis Green. And to his left, my right, is Liz Cowan, who works here in the Community Center running all the senior programs. Let's hear for Liz. I also want to specifically thank Liz. She did most of the work putting today together. We have the most people that have ever come out, the most vendors that have ever come out for this senior summit, so I think she did a terrific job. So thank you, Liz. What we're going to do is we're going to just pass the microphone around, and people will come up to the podium and explain what they do and what their role is in Woodbridge Township to help senior citizens. If you have any questions at the end, we can take them. We certainly want to encourage you to go out and see the vendors. There's a whole lot of them here, like I said, more than ever before, so they're all giving up something of their day and their resources to come out and show you what they can do for you. So please do your best to stop and talk to them. Don't just take the candy and leave. If you're taking their candy or their tchotchkes, you really should talk to them. So we'll make that deal. If you take a tchotchke, you better talk to them and let them talk to you about what they do. So let me start with Dennis Green, the head of the Health and Senior Services Department, and ask him to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. So as the head of the Department of Health and Human Services, we provide a lot of senior services through our various divisions. So I'm going to just rattle off all the divisions real quick. I'm not going to go through them all because we have some people here from each division who can talk a little bit better about what they do and the programs they provide. But we have the Evergreen Senior Center, Sycamore Senior Center, the newly be opened 5 branches Senior Center, Senior Transportation, Health Education, Multi-Services, and Nursing. So all those divisions actually provide health services or services for the senior community. I'm not going to talk about the senior centers because Liz is going to cover that. I'm not going to talk about multi-services because Michelle's going to cover that. I'm not going to talk about senior transportation because Diane's here to talk about that. So what I will talk about is the 3 other divisions that aren't represented up here. So those are nursing. Nursing provides a bunch of different services for the seniors. You know, every year we do flu shots for the seniors. Every month we actually do adult vaccines for the seniors, so we want you to take advantage of those every year. And also, you've probably seen the nurses come to all the different divisions, programs, senior events where they do blood pressures. Blood pressures are a very important screening device, so we like you take advantage of those. What other division do we have? We have Fern Coleman. Fern Coleman is our health educator. Fern does a lot of different health education programs. You've probably seen her at all the different senior centers. She brings those programs to the seniors, a lot of different programs. We do a lot of variety. She's very innovative and bringing unique things to us. She also does the Mayor's Health Expo, the 3rd Saturday of every October. She does Public Health Day. She organizes that. That's the 1st Saturday of every April. And she also does Women's Health Day, and that's in September. So she does a lot of different things to bring services to the community. I don't think I missed anybody, but what I really want to emphasize, all our different divisions come together. They really work really well together to bring services to the seniors, whether it's transportation to some of the events we have, bringing events to the senior centers, bringing the nurses out into the senior centers. We really try to work to bring that all together. And so what I want you to do is, if you can't talk to all the people that are here today, and so actually, can I mention some of the people here. So I mentioned Fern Coleman, she's our health educator. Nursing, we have Mary, who's the head of the nursing division. Also the two nurses, Anna and Terry. So they're here to provide those services. And I'll have Michelle and the other division heads mention some of the other employees that we have here. But they're all here to provide services for you, so talk to them. If you can't talk to them today, we really want you to reach out to us. You can call at 732-855-0600, extension 5026. That's my direct office, so you can get them more information. If we can't give you the information, we can get you the information that you need. So thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. I'd now like to ask Diane Mantegas to talk about senior transportation. I've mentioned this at my last State of the Township address, that it took my staff a while to convince me that we should get into this business. I heard nothing but complaints about I heard some compliments too, but a lot of complaints about the county busing, about the drivers, about the services, about the hours, and I was skeptical to think we should do that and have to hear, complaints. But I forgot, for a momentary lapse of judgment, how good this township is and how good our employees are. So we have taken over senior transportation, really started it, expanded it, and it's been amazing. We have now 5 buses? 6 buses. See, they bought a bus and didn't tell me. And how many drivers? 7 drivers. Let me let Diane tell you all the details. Diane Mantegas runs our senior transportation and does an outstanding job.
Thank you, Mayor. So in January, we expanded greatly. So we went from just taking you to the community center and the senior centers and things of that nature to now being able to take you to doctor's appointments around the township. We also go as far as James Street and Edison for those of you that travel that far. What else do we do? Oh, ShopRite every week, twice a week. We do monthly trips to the mall as well as monthly trips to Walmart located in Woodbridge as well. So I can take registrations over the phone. There's booklets over there at my table, also has a registration form in it. My direct number is 732-726-2394. I'm there 8 to 4, Monday to Friday. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call me. I'll answer as best as I can.
You mentioned concerts and farmers markets and stuff like that.
Yes, so June 20th, the Mayor's Concert Series begins, and we will be taking you to the concerts. So please call me. We can get you on the list to go to those concerts and get you home as well.
We got to take them home.
Yeah. So again, call me, 732-726-2394. Any questions I can answer, I'll be more than happy to do so.
Thanks. I think we do have a responsibility to take you home if we take you there. It reminds me of the joke. I took my wife to Italy for our 30th anniversary, and for our 40th anniversary, I took her home. I brought her home. Now I'd like, all right, though, you just laugh. Just humor me. Come on. I'll take away the donuts if you don't laugh at my jokes. Liz Longenhagen joined us several years ago. She started out in the community center here, and she's since branched out over to the health department with the senior centers. You've all known we've had Evergreen for years, predates anybody up here. Evergreen's been a great resource. We were there yesterday giving out awards to the seniors for working at Evergreen and for working on multi-service program and aging. It was great. You got one. I saw you. Except Fran, when the picture came, Fran hit her face. Where's Fran? Well, I put that up on Facebook anyway, Fran. I put it up on Facebook anyway. So anyway, where was I? So then we opened up Sycamore Senior Center a couple of years ago. The Poor Reading Knights of Columbus, like all these fraternal and community organizations, was having a little bit of trouble paying the bills, so they essentially sold us the downstairs. It's a condo now, 2-unit condo. They own the upstairs where they have their bar and their meeting room and their game room, and we own the downstairs. And we turned that into the Sycamore Senior Center, which I think is terrific. It's just as good as Evergreen, and it works so good that we now, same thing, Island American Legion had trouble. They had a big building, couldn't keep it up, so we took that over. We bought it from them. We rent out a small place for them to have their meetings and their rooms and all that. And we turned the rest into a senior center. It's called 5 Branches. Everything we've done since we've been here has been a green theme. So picking up on Evergreen, which wasn't us, we named the next one Sycamore. We named this one 5 Branches, because branches are on trees are green, and there's 5 branches of the military, and it was an American Legion building. So John Mitch actually came up with the idea. It's a great name. And then that's going to open next month. It's in like 95%, it's 95% complete. That's going to be terrific. There's a senior community right there in Woodbridge Hills. There's all kinds of apartment complexes around there. So I'm sure it's going to be very, very busy. The last thing is, am I taking everything you're supposed to talk about? That last thing is the Ford's First Aid Squad became available, and we bought that building. And now our engineers and architects are working on a way to turn that into another senior center that's going to be called the Hickory Center. So when you look at a map of Woodbridge, you're going to have Port Reading over here, Colonia up here, Island over here, and Ford's down here, 4 corners of the town, and there'll be a senior center in all 4 corners of the town. You'll have your own home-based senior center. That's where you go, and you get priority for all the events, but you can travel to any other senior center. So we're giving priority to wherever you belong. And if they say have a Mardi Gras or a Valentine's Day lunch or something, they first book it with all the people that have that home base. And when they have extra tickets, extra seats, anybody can come from the rest of the centers. And you can always visit. You can do a puzzle at Evergreen. You can do sewing at Sycamore. You can play chess or checkers at Hickory. You can play cards at 5 Branches. You can go wherever you want. It'll be so good to have 4 centers. And if there's anything left that I didn't say, let me ask Liz Longenhagen to come up, and I apologize. I just got carried away. I love talking about this stuff. Liz, can you talk about the centers?
Hi, everyone. My name is Liz Longenhagen, as you said. I'd just like to say that we have Shirley Genti here. She is in charge of the senior center and the youth centers. And Cynthia Rusic, who couldn't be here today, she oversees all the senior centers as well. So Sycamore is booming right now. That's where I'm currently stationed. 5 Branches will be opening relatively soon. Like the mayor said, you can come to any of the centers if you live in Woodbridge Township. We have fitness classes, card games, movies. We have a party once a month because we love to party.
Bingo.
Bingo is hot right now. So anything you guys want to come to, feel free to give me a call. The Sycamore number is 732-726-6272. Evergreen, Sandra is back there representing Evergreen right now. Any questions, feel free to ask, okay? Thank you.
All right. I'm also told that Freeholder Charlie Kenny's in the house with the fire company, former Woodbridge councilman. Let's give a round of applause for Freeholder Charlie Kenny. And now a lady that many of you probably know because you see her around Evergreen, but a lot of people in town don't know what she does because most of her efforts are not on the active side with people who are able to get out to the senior centers. Most of her activities are for the people who are not able to get out. The frail, the elderly, the homebound, the people who need services. They're just as important as anybody else in town. So Michelle runs the multi-service office on aging. She does an amazing job. Her whole staff is here. She'll introduce them. Something I didn't know until yesterday when we had the awards, when a lady from Edison came up to me and says, why can't you talk to Edison and get them to do what you do? And first of all, I don't do it, we do it. But I said, why would I want to make any other town as good as we are? I mean, we're the best town around. We have the best services, the best programs. If I teach other mayors how to do it, then you're all going to go there. So I'm not telling anybody else how to do it. You can see why we're good. The people up here, the people in that back row there, this is why we're so good at it. So let me ask Michelle Morgan to explain how she handles all these programs for the homebound seniors.
Thank you, Mayor. So I run the Division of Multi-Service Program on Aging. My staff includes Allison Wisniewski, social worker, Melissa Krublitz, social worker, Julie Hackler, social worker, and Jody Snyder, our secretary. And so when the mayor makes reference to our work and meeting the needs of the housebound, isolated elderly, I really rely upon these events to reach out to seniors such as yourselves that come out and can take that information home. So perhaps you have a family member or a neighbor who's home alone and lonely. And so that is where we would ask that you bring the information home. And what is that information? So that information is that as social workers for Woodbridge Township, we provide counseling and case management. Some of the struggles that our elderly find is maintaining their home, perhaps some personal care, and financial. So our role is to help our seniors in our community to age in place safely, securely, and that they can have the financial freedom. The benefits of the senior centers that the mayor is creating is that it is a social place for those seniors that don't get out to go have somewhere to go to. With that said, in addition to the counseling and case management that we do, we also provide Medicare insurance counseling. As we all know, Medicare is a very complicated maze, and so we are there for that. When Director Green mentioned the collaboration that we have with our other divisions in the health department, he is so clearly right. We completely depend on STOW to provide transportation to our elderly, and we rely on all the other divisions. Also, we use the resources throughout Middlesex County so that when the county and the state have resources for our seniors, we bring them here to Woodbridge Township. And that really couldn't be successful without the support of our mayor. And so, in reality, our mayor is very unique in that the support he shows to our seniors, there is no other municipality in Middlesex County that has the staff that has been created in Woodbridge Township. You will not find another municipality that has a staff, social worker, staff, the transportation. It's just very unique, and that is why, as the mayor always says, Woodbridge Township is the place to be, and we find that often. We were at a state-sponsored event last week, and people that we work with, other service providers in the county, approached us and talked about, they heard about Evergreen Senior Center, and really Evergreen Senior Center is an imprint for all the senior centers that are going to be created in our municipality. They also talked about the social workers and the benefits that we provide to our senior community. So, May being Senior Citizen Month, the theme being engage at every age, we appreciate the opportunity to serve our older adults, and we thank you for the tribute that you have for us, the growing generation, and we thank our mayor for your support, because without your support, this would not be happening. So we thank you all.
I think I'm going to keep Michelle around. I like that. Joelle, I'm not sure if you were planning on speaking, but you are. Let me ask Joelle Schlossberg to come up. She's in our Community Affairs Division of the Police Department. When people ask me the toughest part of my job, one of the toughest things, there's not many tough things, but one of the hardest things is when I have issues where it's neighbor against neighbor on an issue that we can't get involved in because we don't have jurisdiction. If they fight over, who knows what they fight over, pets and fences and noise and cigarette smoke and all these different things. And what I do when I get those cases is I turn them over to Joelle and to Mark. Mark Zeno's our partner in Community Affairs. He's here too, right? He's hiding back there. And I turn them over to Joelle, and Joelle has a way of just disarming everybody that comes to her, and just solves almost every single issue that I give her between when there's neighbors fighting neighbors or other things that go on that we just can't deal with. And she has a way of getting it all done. You'll see when she talks to you, she's got a great disposition, and she's perfect for this job. So let me ask Joelle to say a few words.
Thank you. I'm a little under the weather right now, so my disposition might not be that great. But so with the police department, like he said, we do handle neighbor complaints. A lot of our neighbor complaints are seniors. They get bullied by their neighbors, their younger neighbors. It's very common, so if you guys do have that problem, if you don't want to contact the mayor's office, you can contact the police department and ask for Community Affairs, and we'll try to help you. If it's an ongoing problem, if it's just like a one-time thing, you want to call the regular police number and an officer will come out and try to handle it. But if it's something that is persistent, give us a call. The other thing that we do with seniors is we have a senior police academy. Anyone out here been in the senior police academy? You're one of our original members, right? Very first class. That's when I was pregnant, so I wasn't at that one. Oh, another one over here. Yeah, so we have a senior police academy. It's 1 day a week in the month of May. It's usually the day that has the longest, the most amount of days. So this year it's Tuesdays. We give the seniors a ride along with a police officer for a couple hours. We take them on a tour of either East Jersey State Prison, where they meet the Lifers group who started the Scared Straight program. They're a group of felony murderers. I know that sounds really scary, but it's really not. It's a great experience. They get to see what a jail cell looks like. We would love to take kids there because I think it's more important that the kids see it, but you have to be an adult to go. So we take the seniors there. They talk to the Lifers group. Or we take them to Middlesex County Jail. It's just as great of a tour. It's a little bit more walking. And we teach them CPR and first aid. We take them to the training facility that we train at in Edison, and we let them use the firearms training simulator and the driving simulator so they can see what it's like to be in a shoot-don't-shoot situation and a pursuit. It's a great class. We've never had any complaints. That's something, you know, if you guys want to sign up, we'd start signing people up in January of that year. So this year, you've already missed it, but next year, if you guys want to sign up, we take about 20 to 25 people. The other thing that we do for seniors is called a program called Safe and Sound. Has anyone heard of it? No? No? Okay, so we use it. It's a program where you fill out this 5-page form, you or your loved ones. You attach a picture, and it tells everything about you, your height, your weight. The picture shows us what you look like, places you might go if you wandered away. This is good for children with autism that may wander, and for seniors. And it's a computer program that we have in all of our cars and in our headquarters. And if something happens, if your loved one wanders away, walks out of the house in the middle of the night, or your child, grandchild, whatever, we have all their information in our computer system and their picture. So if we see them, we can find them easier. And like I said, it says where you like to go. Like if you like water, you know, maybe we'll check down by the boat marinas and stuff like that. Or if you know, the neighbor's pool. If you like going to Dunkin' Donuts, this, you know, the places we can check so we can find you quicker. So that's a good program for seniors to sign up for if you have a loved one that has dementia or anything like that. Get in contact with us and we'll put you in the system. I think that's it.
Okay. All right, thank you, Joelle. Joelle said a lot of important things. One thing she said, though, is you can call her directly. A lot of times you might not be comfortable calling the mayor's office or calling a council person because you know us, and you might want to have a little more confidentiality if you have an issue. So feel free. Anybody up here you can talk to. That's what's so great about the town. Everybody here and everybody around that's all been introduced are all able to help you for whatever your issues are. You don't always have to go right to the mayor's office or the council person. A couple other things. This building, Vito's upstairs in a fireworks meeting, but this building, the Woodbridge Community Center, is a fantastic resource for seniors. We have a very, very active senior program. We have discounted memberships to be here. It's quite inexpensive to be a member here of the Woodbridge Community Center, be able to come here anytime to do anything. You see how many people are walking the track while we're sitting here. You can roller skate if you dare. You can ice skate if you dare. You can, you're all shaking your head. No, I'm not going to do that either. I get it. But there's a pool. There's a gym. There's a very active billiards club upstairs with over 100 members. There is the wellness centers, the 2 different rooms, one cardio and one weight, I guess. There's so many things going on here. The Silver Sneakers program, you can get that through your insurance. Your insurance will pay you to participate, so it doesn't cost anything. It's all covered by insurance. There's all kinds of, once a week there's a free movie here. You don't even have to be a member to come here for the free movie. Once a month there's coffees with speakers and seminars on health and wellness and all those other kind of things. So the Woodbridge Community Center here is a very good resource. I'm going to explain too about our special pickups and garage sales, and it's not necessarily for people sitting here. You get out and around, you know it. It's more for the people on TV. But for 9 or 10 years, we had the free bulk pickup, and different sections of town had a week where we were going to pick up the stuff, put anything you want out, and we'll take it away, except hazardous materials. And we let people have free garage sales the weekend before, and what they didn't sell, they just left at the curb, and the town would pick it up during the week. Last year, we decided not to do the bulk pickups anymore, and I'll tell you why. Because every year, from the very first year in 2007, we picked up 13,000 tons of material. The next year, we picked up 13,000 tons. The next year, we picked up 13,000 tons. The next year, we picked up 12,500 tons. And we started thinking to ourselves, I mean, how much junk can you people have? So the first year, you get rid of your basement. The next year, you do your garage. The next year, you do your attic. And the next year, you do your yard or whatever. I mean, the amount of stuff we were picking up was not getting any lower, and that just didn't make any sense to us. So what we kind of surmised and what we kind of figured out was that people were using Woodbridge as a free dumping ground, and they were bringing their stuff to their daughters or their sons or their parents or their grandparents, and they were bringing stuff here. So we were picking up Aunt Millie from Milburn's couch. And we don't want to pay to take Aunt Millie's couch to the landfill. So we said no more free bulk pickups as a group. You can still get the service by calling up, and once a year you can get whatever you want picked up for free. And you wouldn't believe the amount of tons less that we've picked up this year because of that program. But we still like the garage sales. We like having a section of town because people that go to garage sales like going to one spot, and there's 25 garage sales they can go to. But we didn't offer that last year because we were afraid that people wouldn't have noticed or have read that there was no more bulk pickup for free. So we didn't advertise the garage sales. What I feared was everybody having a garage sale, leaving their stuff out. They didn't know to call because they thought we just picked it up, and it would have been a mess. So we didn't do the garage sales. Now the garage sales are back. I think this weekend is Colonia. The last couple weekends we've had them. So we have the garage sales as a section of town are back. And people love that because they love, like I said, coming to one spot. And the people that have the garage sales love knowing that more people will come because we have so many in one spot. So that's the way that works. And that's why we changed the system. But I think so far this year it's worked out great. And Aunt Millie can dump her couch in Milburn instead of bringing it to Woodbridge Township. So that's worked out great. Couple other things. We just put together in the last couple of weeks the finishing touches on our concert series. You heard Diane say we're going to have busing to the shows. We have, I think, the best series we've ever had. And we have more concerts than anybody in the state. I mean, by far. We are so known for our concerts. Every place any of us go, all people talk about is the Woodbridge concerts. Monday nights, which probably is your favorite, 50s and 60s. I don't have the list with me, but with the Duprees, the Happenings, the Cameos, all kinds of groups that are from the 50s and 60s. That's Monday nights at the high school, 7:30. Tuesday nights at the high school, 7:30 is the 70s and 80s. Now it's more my generation. A Springsteen band, an Eagles band, Beatles, Rolling Stones, Doors, Tom Petty, Neil Young, two more I forget. Simon and Garfunkel. That's Tuesdays, also at the high school. Wednesdays is like an eclectic mix of music. It's like 1 and 2 and 3 man bands or woman bands that play, I don't know, what kind of music? Greg, help me out here. Give me some. Current, they're just different music, not rock and roll, more different kind of genres of music. Thursday nights, that's at Parker Press Park, right by Town Hall. Thursday nights, the other side of the tracks is Tansman Park. They are local band Thursdays, kind of bands that play in the local bars. We only have a requirement that they have to have a Woodbridge connection, so somebody in the band has to be from Woodbridge, has to live in Woodbridge. We don't open it up to bands all across the area, or we'd have too many, so we just limit it to people with a Woodbridge connection. 3 Fridays, there's a jazz concert over in Avenel. We used to be at Pelsman Park, but now we're putting it down the road at LeGrand Park. The Station Village, Arts Village in Avenel, is moving along very, very quickly. There's a whole lot of apartment buildings up and occupied. They're working now on building the restaurant, a 200-seat theater with the 60-seat restaurant. It's going to be open hopefully by the first of the year. That's going to host a whole lot of shows when it opens. So we're trying to put a couple of shows there to get people used to going there and let them see the progress. And finally, on Sundays is Country Sundays over at Parker Press Park, all country bands. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Let me tell you Mondays. The Duprees, the Capris, the Happenings, Stan Zitskas, Del Satins, the Cameos, Larry Chance and the Earls, Jay Siegel and the Tokens, Joey Armenio and the Family Oldies Show, the New York Bee Gees, and the Infernos. Great lineup of bands, 50s and 60s. And I'm not going to give you the whole shows, and then on the back of the card, you can get one on the way out, has all the different events that are happening in the summer and in the fall. So this is all you need for the next 6 months to know what's going on in Woodbridge Township, and there's so much to do. Let me just go through and think I got almost everything I'm supposed to talk about. Anything else, anybody up here? Nancy, you want to say anything? Let me take a break and ask Nancy Drum to say a few words on behalf of the council.
Wore me out, boy. A mayor who knows every single morsel of what's going on in their town. That's pretty amazing. Let's hear it for the mayor. And it's true, the social worker, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have all these resources and all these amenities. And as long as I've been on council, I'm in my 5th year, I've seen so much happen in the last 5 years, so thank you very much for that. I'll be short. I just wanted to recognize I work for the Chamber of Commerce, and there's so many Chamber of Commerce members here. Almost every single table are members of the Chamber. Without these businesses, without these relationships in our community, really, really patronize them because it's very, very important to them, being businesses in our town, to patronize them. So that's all I have to say. Happy Senior Month, and thank you for all of your support.
Councilman Ficarra, you want to say anything?
Let me just say that when I look out in the audience, I don't see senior citizens, I see active older Americans. And you know, as active older Americans, we are consumers, and vendors are paying attention to that. We're significant in the workforce, and we are a factor in our communities. We also have a great advantage over our parents, that we have so much information. We know that if we live an active lifestyle, if we eat the right food and we challenge ourselves mentally, we can not only live a longer life, but a productive and healthy life. So that's what we're shooting for, and we certainly have the ability to do that if you just look around you and everything you heard today. Now do me one little favor. Everybody stand up right where you are. Just stand up where you are. Take your time getting up. Now I'm going to just yell out 1, 2, 3, and you're going to yell out at the top of your lungs. Yes. Everybody with me? Yes. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yes! All right.
Thank you, Greg. You are all so lucky, because sometimes when he asks people to stand up, he leaves them in jumping jacks. And sometimes he makes you do push-ups and sit-ups. I said he's the oldest member of our elected team. He's also in the best shape of anybody. He's kicking our butts when it comes to all these different things we do. He's the best. So thank you, Greg. There are a couple things I failed to mention, but we'll cover them now. Tooling around the town, we just a couple of weekends ago did a total of 19 different houses where we go in and fix up the homes, usually of widows, usually of people that cannot afford to do the work or cannot do the work themselves. It's a wonderful program. We have done in the past as many as 28 houses in a weekend. This year we only had 19, but that's not a problem. We'll do whatever we need to do for those 19. What I want to make the point, though, is that if you know of someone that could use the help on getting a house fixed up, or you yourself could use the help in getting your house fixed up, we run the program. It used to be run through an organization that had very stringent requirements, financial and otherwise. We're a lot less rigid. We can do a lot more whatever we kind of want to do and whoever we want to help. So if you want to think about that for next year, mostly painting, mostly landscaping, mostly general cleanup, occasional plumbing and occasional carpentry and occasional electric work. It's free. You got a great group of people. Some of the companies that are here as vendors are the ones that do the work. It's a great team building thing for these companies. They get 20 people out on a day and paint a house together. The CEO of the company and the secretary and the guy in the mailroom and the guy in the custodian and all the executives and people in between all are the same that day. They're all out just having fun. It's a great thing for them and it's great for us. So please start thinking about that. And I think the last thing on my list is the farmers market. Diane mentioned it. There's going to be transportation to and from it. Opens up June 27th at Parker Press in Woodbridge, right by Town Hall. It's great. There's several different farmers and several different products that are offered. It works out very, very well. We've done that since 2007 when we got here. So there's a lot of things happening. And the last thing I want to mention is just looked at my notes, and the third annual Gladiator Games are over. That is where the senior citizens compete against the youth of our town. And I'm proud to say, and I wouldn't say it if you weren't here, I'm certainly not going to say it in front of the kids, but the note actually says here, the seniors kick butt again. The seniors, the active older Americans beat the seniors in the high school. And I don't know what you played, probably Wii bowling and stuff like that. What else did you play? Ping pong. Ping pong? All right, what else? Was that? Pizza toss. Wii bowling. Emoji matching? Concentration. Concentration. Okay. Well, the point there is that the seniors won and our kids didn't. Other than that, I think, don't forget the fireworks. It's Tuesday, July 3rd. Is that a Tuesday? Help me out here. Tuesday, July 3rd, over at C. Warren Park. The doors open, no doors. The park opens at 4 o'clock. The fireworks go off about 9:25-ish, right at dusk. This year's going to have the biggest show ever. We can't get any bigger after this unless we want to do them off a barge in the Arthur Kill there. We're out of space. This year we have as big a fireworks show as we ever can possibly have. because there's just no more room to put the stuff on the ground to shoot it off into the air, unless, like we said, we go on a boat, but that gets way, way too expensive, so we're not going to be doing that. So, does anybody have any questions while you're here? No one's afraid, everyone's afraid to ask a question on TV. You can ask us all in private. Thank you for coming out. We want to thank you for all that you do for us. We love working for you, but we love when you appreciate what this group does for you. And then, like I said, there's about 20 different people here from Town Hall, a lot of people standing here. There's an awful lot of people around. Please see them, talk to them. Anything you need, talk to them. I should have you come up. You talk, you're great.
I was going to say something.
Why don't you, come here. This is our biggest fan. Fran, she got her house done at Tooling Around.
You wouldn't take me around with you.
I said when we spoke at Tooling Around on TV, I said, I'm taking you around my next campaign. Go ahead.
Well, what I would like to say, Dad.
Hold it closer, hold it closer.
Oh, Woodbridge Township is one of the best ones.
No. Not one of the best.
It is the best. And I have to still talk.
What's that?
That I still talk.
Go ahead.
I would like to tell everybody here.
Closer.
Closer. I would like to tell everybody here that whatever that she's doing, the center where Julie works, public service.
Multi-service.
Multi-service. So you know I'm Italian, I don't understand.
That's all right.
I went there and I talked about getting food stamps. I did get food stamps, but it wasn't a lot, but every little bit helps. And
you got your house done?
I'll get there.
Okay.
And I had my house done for Tooling Around. They did my deck. They painted a rail that was real rusty. They got a ton of dirt from the township and put dirt all around my yard.
I planted grass.
Oh, they did, and guess what? In 2 weeks, the grass is flowing. And I always have to talk about the buses.
There you go.
The buses take seniors everywhere they go. When I went down there to the library, Woodbridge Library, I told her, do you know the buses take us to the library too? And they do. And they take us everywhere. There is one more thing. I just have to say, oh, I go to the center too, one of them, the Evergreen one. And I play bingo, I do exercise, I sing at the music. And it's all good for us. Oh, and I'm in Woodbridge Township 51 years.
All right, let's hear it.
Let me have that muffin.
Now you know why I gave her the microphone. I knew she was going to say all nice things. So next year when I run for re-election, can I just pick you up every morning and take you around with me? Deal?
I hope so, because I want to live in my home. But
Atta girl. All right, so you can ask any questions later. We'll be here for a while, but once again, thank you for letting us do what we do for you. It's a great town to be a senior citizen in. It's a great town to grow up in. It's a great town to be a kid in. It's the best town around. Thank you all for watching.